On the 13th day of October, seeing extemp speeches at UCLA, where it's a beautiful day as usual, a little warm.
Indeed.
A little warm. And Bridget is about to share an extemp speech on the Phi Kappa Psi fraternity stand to gain more than it would lose in a lawsuit against Rolling Stone magazine. Begin.
Okay, hi, my name is Bridget.
Hi,
and today
Bridget.
I want to start with a story about a girl named Jackie. It was September 2012, and Jackie was just starting her freshman year at the University of Virginia. It hadn't even been her first week of school before she got invited to her first ever fraternity party. She showed up at the Phi Kappa Psi fraternity house, unsure of what to expect, and was greeted by the sounds of music bumping, people laughing, beer pouring, and slowly she started to enjoy herself. Everything was going well until she was invited to bring the party upstairs by a member of the fraternity. From there, her night took a turn for the worse when she was raped by multiple members of the fraternity and what was later revealed to be an initiation ceremony for new members of Phi Kappa Psi fraternity. 2 years later, on November 14th, 2014, Rolling Stone magazine brought Jackie's testimony to light in an article titled, "A Rape on Campus." America was outraged that such an atrocity could occur on a college campus and that such young men were capable of such a horrible crime. There was riots, there was protests, the frat was disbanded, and the members were shunned. Well, 5 months later, on April 5th, 2015, Rolling Stone magazine published in an editor's note a complete retraction of the article, as it turned out that Jackie's entire testimony was false. However, even though the article was retracted, the damage was done. The boys lived in 160 days of suspicion, facing scathing attacks not only from the public, but from their own friends and family. The question I want to answer today is, does Phi Kappa Psi fraternity stand to gain more than it would lose in a lawsuit against Rolling Stone magazine? My answer is absolutely. I believe this for 3 reasons. Number 1, they actually have a good case. Number 2, they have little to lose. And number 3, there's a lot to gain in the way of honor. This subject matter is chiefly significant in looking at how truth and honor play a role in today's society of the internet age. So the first reason why I believe Phi Kappa Psi fraternity stands to gain more than it would lose in a lawsuit against Rolling Stone magazine is that they actually have a good case, and this is rare in defamation cases. There's usually 2 big hurdles. The first is that how do you prove that the defamatory statement was actually about a person when we're talking about a group? And this is something that is covered by Article Section 564A of the Restatement of Torts. And it has something called the Small Group Clause, which basically says that if the group or class defamed is significantly small, then you can reasonably tie the defamatory statement to any one individual in that group. And that works with the Phi Kappa Psi fraternity because it is indeed a small group of people. The second hurdle that's hard to overcome is how to prove damages. And this is difficult in situations where the damages aren't monetary, it's more emotional. How do you prove emotional loss? Well, this is covered by something that is called defamation per se, which many states have, including Virginia. And defamation per se means that the defamatory statement is so damaging on the face of it that damages are just assumed and you don't need to prove them. So this includes statements that falsely accuse someone of gang rape, which falsely accuse someone of a crime of moral turpitude. And I think that we can all agree that a crime of moral turpitude is definitely gang rape. My second reason why I believe that Phi Kappa Psi fraternity stands to gain more than it would lose in a lawsuit against Rolling Stone magazine is that they actually have little to lose. We need to look at this in light of the internet age. According to an article that was published in the Federalist, the Rolling Stones article was a sensationalized story of the internet age, where there was immediate international commentary on it. And the boys' Facebook pages were already being looked at and scored for their general rapiness potential. So we need to think that information in this day and age travels faster and further, and our personal information is already out there for everyone to look at. Secondly, looking at the reputation of these Phi-Psi members, they're already being looked at as just frat boys, which by America's definition are usually boorish, privileged, alcoholic, you name it. The reputation isn't too much to have to uphold. So they only have something to gain, which brings me to my third point, is that does Phi Kappa Psi fraternity stand to gain more than it would lose in a lawsuit against Rolling Stone magazine? Yes, because there's much to gain in the way of honor. Not only for the boys themselves, but for the honor of journalism as an institution, and for the honor of the real rape victims themselves. In the Columbia report that was published after the article was published in the Rolling Stone magazine, Rolling Stone showed negligence at every step of publication, and that means the reporting, the editing, the editorial supervision, and the fact-checking. I think that we as citizens should demand a greater degree of journalistic integrity from our news sources, and that means not letting such negligence go unpunished. Now finally, and most importantly, is the honor of the real rape victims. When stories like these come out about these false cases, this only heightens the suspicion that already rape victims are confronted with when they come out. In the editor's notes published by Rolling Stone magazine, the editor said, sexual assault on campus is a serious problem, and it's important that rape victims feel comfortable coming forward. We are saddened to think that their willingness to do so may have been diminished by our own failures, and this is definitely the case. If rape was taken with the seriousness that it deserves, then the fake rape cases would be weeded out, and the true rape cases will come forward and get the validity and the credit that they deserve. So in summary, does Phi Kappa Psi fraternity stand to gain more than it would lose in a lawsuit against Rolling Stone magazine? Yes, because one, they have a good case thanks to defamation per se and the small group clause. Two, they have little to lose because you're in the internet age and we're dealing with a reputation that isn't all that strong to begin with. And three, they have a lot to gain in the way of honor, not only for themselves, but as journalism, as an institution, and for the honor of the real rape survivors. So yes, Phi Kappa Psi fraternity absolutely stands to gain more than it would lose in a lawsuit against Rolling Stone magazine. If these boys do pursue legal action, I believe that cases like Jackie's won't have the chance to steal the attention from the true stories that are actually worth hearing. Thank you.
$637. What'd you like?
I love the
Stand up for Jesus?
I really like the organization of your speech. It was really easy to follow and proved your point.
Did you say your name?
My name's Sheehan.
Hi, Sheehan. Especially it's easy to follow. I just followed the prompt. It was pretty precise. But improvement?
Oh yeah, I'm in song. I like the fact that she brought up sections we wouldn't have thought of, like the law, and then went into depth about those things. We don't understand a lot of the stuff that you brought up, but you explained it for us in ways that were very simple, so we understand it. So
Improvement?
Yeah.
What's her improvement?
Improvement.
What could she do better?
I think I heard the questions many times, maybe.
Yeah.
I like people to do that, so I'm glad you did that. Yeah, it's good to repeat your thesis. That shows you're really on track. You're on track with every one of your points supports your thesis, see? And that's the first reason why they have a lot to gain. The second reason they have a lot to gain. The third reason they have a lot to gain. Liked your intro. It was a little bit misleading. I thought you were going the other way, so it was interesting and good about the woman telling her story. Very emotional and very good. Rolling Stone article, you had your dates down, and then, boom, you lowered the boom. There had to be a retraction. You had a really nice transitional thing that led up and into the question, which you knew well, and you had an excellent preview, which was not just 3 reasons, but the 3 reasons were given, and I like that very much. Your 6th statement could have been a little bit better. In light of honor and truth in the internet age, I think something more along the lines of we need to really, some of these journalists need to get spanked on the fanny hard so they'll get back to their good standards of fact-checking and that sort of thing. And maybe maybe a heavy fine at Rolling Stone will do that. Although, you know, they're always looking for the angle in a good story. Your main body, I was a little worried that you're going into Tort 564 and your common law definition was going to be what we call in the sticky text becoming a little too complicated, but it wasn't. It walked the line nicely, and you explained it, and you explained why it would work in this case, so I thought that was good. Your second reason was compelling. You skipped, I guess, the Princeton example. I guess were you running out of time, or did you were worried about the time? I don't know, but and then your third reason was I didn't get the link of back to honoring and making better journalism. Remember, everyone, cite the dates when you cite the Columbia Journalism Report in 2015 said this. That gives it credibility, showing that it's very recent. Just as you said, the retraction in April of 2015, that was good. Summary, conclusion, and tie back were all good. You said speak with conviction, relax, be memorable. How'd it go?
How'd it go by my judgment?
Great.
Yes. Do you think it went well?
I think it went well.
Yeah. What was unexpected that you designed into this that it was going to grab us and we didn't expect to have happened?
Oh, well, I think, yeah, that was kind of in my intro where, like you said, I led it in one direction and
Then you went in the other direction?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you very much. Good job. Oh, we're out of time. So, let's spend the remainder of the time for people that want to sign up for their second and third extemp topic and do so. Can you hand me my la-di-da? Yeah,
Did we sign in today? There was no signage. It was
oh, would you circulate one? Thought la-di-da.
So is this from the same topics that we signed up for the first time?
No, it's from this thing right here, the sign-up sheet.
Not topics.
Well, yeah, it's from those, but you can go on into CCC Extemporaneous on Asian Pacific Africa and domestic policy and foreign policy. Thank you. Oh, can we thank Mickey for a great lecture? Yeah. Thank you, Mickey. Great job. I'll come around.
Asia Pacific one?
When you're ready.
What are you?
Can I do is climb around number 3,
Yeah, that's great.
okay.
Aren't we doing the CCCFA one together?
Canada wasn't there yet.
Which ones do we get to pick from?
The second list.
Yep, just like that.
I had a Madison class Tuesday.
Yeah, mine's just fine. Well, I kind of like it shorter. Madison's already an awful.
Different name. The parents want a boy.
No, I'm older. So there you go. Yes, I'm
Ready? round 2.
Wait, daily where on the daily?
So round 1?
Is it on the corner of
Is that your number?
Round 1?
Yeah, Xander. Yeah, I think Maryland.
Which one are you doing?
Oh, we can
This
Wait, can I see? Okay.
Yeah.
You still do?
Okay, I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that one. That one's like super comfortable.
I'm gonna go.
Like, they're all right. Yeah, for me.
Okay.
Oh, you got one?
I mean, I'm not an expert in marijuana. I don't think I should do that one.
You want to? What'd you transfer from? Mason? No. Is that like college? Okay.
Round 2, CCFA round 2. Should be different reasons.
Speaker what?
Speaker 5, second question. So at least really
Spell your name.
Everyone was like,
Spell your
it's
name.
like constantly
H-A-N.
Is that number 2?
I don't really
That's my
know.
second.
I feel like I would have fit in.
Oh my god, yeah, you would. You definitely would.
I don't know.
I think like my
CCFA.
it's not like anywhere else. Like I mean, if you're looking
Yeah, I
at
feel
a
like-
state for reference, so like let's look at like a lot more.
Okay, I went to that state and it was like completely different.
Yeah, no, they're
That's the second one.
like I think that is much more.
Where are you from?
I'm from
Okay.
yeah, I just know somebody a little bit because like my boyfriend was there, is actually there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't go here.
No, he did go to UCLA. He graduated last year, but he's living in Westwood. He's working. Yeah,
Still
so
kid.
he's still
Got arrested for watermelon, it's like 2 seconds.
yeah, but he was like born in
With
like,
first ones, like,
so
I
yeah,
mean, like, they're thin, they're fine.
I went to Colorado. I went like that. I did
That's so cute.
Yeah, we snuck into the Hotel Dallas Bowl. And it was
Oh, that's
so
so
nice.
fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. And then
So once I came right up, they just like,
Yes. Oh my god, it was a surprise birthday party.
wait,
Saturday night.
wait, I was there on Saturday night.
Yeah.
You were there when I was there.
Okay, I didn't go in because I'm not 21, but I was like, oh, so like it was
so
my friend's
funny.
first birthday party and I dropped her off.
Round 3.
Yeah.
I went on a date, but like,
Really?
we went at, okay, so
Did they scan it?
they were serious about it. Like, I went at 9:30. Oh, it's called Business Run. It's like,
Wait, it's so funny we were both there.
yeah.
What time did you get there? I was
Like,
like,
literally 9:30. So early, and I think that's the only reason why I got it because there were it was on June 19th. So like, yeah, I was like, oh my god. Well, not so.
oh my god, give me your ID.
Did they chill?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna call you.
After the place, the ritual final.
Yeah.
Wait, where is it? Is it a person? Like the same person?
No, I wanted that one. But it's
Like,
it's from
You're in the green one.
I know.
It's really shitty.
Yeah.
I got it. That one's mine. That one's my number 2. Jasmine J-S-M-I-N. That'll be my second one. I'll give you my third one in a second.
They do call
Well, I don't really know what order.
yeah, they actually do.
Mine's on the same page.
Just rock it and
And you just like go in and like.
I feel like people sororities, I'm somebody junior, they're all like, they're all just
There's so many transfers.
No, that's not it. Like, there's a bunch of junior transfers that just joined DJ, and I'm like actually going to one of the girls who transferred like her house this weekend with the same person and stuff. So like people.
I just feel like everyone's already friends.
What now?
It's not really friends, people who are already
Okay,
I
friends.
totally get what you're saying.
But like, I was thinking of a sorority.
Tell a little natural. Let's put it up
I did get into two of the 4 girls that I applied for, so.
You can apply to get into
Well, they're like CAC, CEC.
I'm in CC.
I didn't get in.
Which one did you apply to?
General marketing. I just found
Do
it
OM.
on today.
Do OM.
It's too late.
Well, you could. I think
That's
they'll
their-
have more.
I was so mad. I spent so much time on it.
You can, but like.
I want 10. Wait, what's your last name?
Sam.
Hey, are you guys in frat?
He's in the same class.
What are you in?
No, I just read school. I'm student council.
Yeah, you know him. Who's not yet?
Bible, Psalm, number 2. Ukraine, Lawa. I hate both for me too. The love of God, don't let them take my
How far?
Oh, here it is.
One,
That's up.
specifically is Congress. Is that number 3?
Can you get anyone?
I think it's on the same.
I didn't see the text.
Or I think it's.
It can be like any.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have to talk
I
to
went
him
that way when I see you.
because I sent him the wrong one, remember?
The letter breath?
Just want to tell him that I'm going to send it a new one tonight. It's recording.
Today's
It is.
Yeah, this is where I did it last